Alright gang then, so we've now got our app up and running and we've connected to Redux. We've defined this dummy data over here on our initial state inside the project reducer, and then we're grabbing that store state inside this component, the dashboard, and passing it down into our projects component. So all of this is working fine. However, we are still using dummy data, and at some point we actually want to interact with a real database, somewhere we can retrieve data from, save data to, or delete data from. So how and where can we do that exactly? Well, let's just have a think about this. What if we try to do this inside the reducer before we return the state? What if somewhere up here we go out and we retrieve data from a database, update the state, and then return the state? Well, no, that is not going to work, because these tasks to go out and communicate with a database, they take some time to do. And by the time they've completed and returned us a response, the state has already been returned at the bottom. So this is not going to work. So we need somewhere else to go out and grab that data from externally. So what about in the component itself, the dashboard in this case? We could use a lifecycle method when the component is created to go out and grab the data. Then we could dispatch an action, which is taken in the reducer to update the state. Could we do that? Well, maybe, but we don't really have a true separation of concerns if we do this. Ideally, we'd like to keep anything to do with data manipulation and state outside of the component. So let's think of another way we can do this instead. So if you watched my previous series on React and Redux, then you're probably going to find this diagram a bit familiar. It shows a basic setup of a Redux store with a React application and the lifecycle of data change. So we have our central data store over here. And if we want, we can get data from that inside the component. And the way we do that is by mapping the state to the props. We've already done this in a couple of tutorials previous to this, where we grab the projects. Okay, and we output those to the DOM. Now, if we wanted to change the state, if we wanted to add a project or delete a project or something like that, then what we would do is dispatch an action from the component. That action would describe the kind of change that we want to make to the store, such as add post or delete post, along with any additional data that we need to edit the state. Then that action and the payload, the additional data, is passed into the reducer, and the reducer is the thing that actually updates the state. Okay, so that's the basic setup. But we're talking about how to go out and grab data externally, because at the minute all we're doing is grabbing data from this central store, some dummy data that we have hard coded into our application. So at what point during this whole cycle can we go out and grab some data from an external source, such as a Firestore database? Where can we do that? Well, we already know that we don't want to do it from the component, and we know that we can't do it inside the reducer. So that leaves this section over here between dispatching an action and the reducer receiving that action. So it would be nice if we could dispatch an action, then have some asynchronous code run here, and then go and grab some data, and then continue with the dispatch once we have that external data, and pass it to the reducer to carry on as normal to update the state. And that's what we'll be doing. But to do it, we'll need to use some Redux middleware called Redux Thunk. Now, middleware is just code that runs between these 2 points, this and this over here. And that's what we'll be doing. We'll be running some code over here somewhere. So what Redux Thunk will allow us to do is perform asynchronous tasks inside of our action creators. Now, we've seen action creators in the previous tutorial, whereby we dispatch an action, and this calls an action creator to generate that creator. Now, Redux Thunk right here will allow us not to return an action creator, but to return a function. Then inside that function, we can halt the dispatch. We can pause it, just put it on hold for a second. Then we can perform an asynchronous request, like go and grab some data or update some data. Then what we can do is resume the dispatch and pass it to the reducer once this asynchronous request has been completed. So the component will still dispatch an action as normal and call an action creator as normal, but inside the action creator, that's where we halt the process. We return a function instead of an action like we normally would, and then we go out, grab data or update data, then resume the dispatch and pass it to the reducer, the action. Okay, so that's what we'll be doing. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I throw out these Redux terms like action creators, reducers, then I would highly recommend you check out my other playlist first, the complete React and Redux playlist, and then come back to this. Okay, so the link for that is down below. But anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be using Redux Thunk to halt this dispatch right here to allow us to go out and grab some data. And we'll be looking at setting up Redux Thunk in the very next video.